PepsiCo's newest drink offering has an extra buzz. The company's Gatorade brand unveiling a new drink with caffeine. It's first ever, called Fast Twitch, and it's got a big dose of caffeine too. One bottle will have as much caffeine as two 12-ounce cans of Red Bull. Now, the drink won't hit shelves in February, but you will see bottles on the sidelines of football games this fall. The company made a deal with the NFL. All right, well, staying in sports, college football, though, it's kicking off with its first slate of games this weekend. Our Josh Schafer is standing by with a special guest to preview all the action. Josh.
That's right, Rochelle. We're here down at the New York Stock Exchange. I have Peach Bowl CEO and President Gary Stokan with us today. Gary organized two of the biggest games this weekend. We've got Georgia and Oregon and Clemson and Georgia Tech coming for you. And Gary, I want to ask you to start. We talk a lot about consumer demand and where we're seeing consumers spend or maybe cut back. What did you see from fans this year? What are they spending on? Are they spending on those premium experiences, or are they maybe cutting back and taking a balcony seat?
You're exactly right. The premiums sell first and sell best. But with both these games, we announced sellouts back in July. And even our Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, which will be played December 31st, we don't even know the teams. We sold that out, earliest that we've ever sold out in 54 years.
Really?
So we're calling this our comeback. Last year was our comeback out of COVID. This is our record season this year.
So you haven't seen any sort of slowdown given inflation and the other things we're hearing about how people are spending?
We haven't really. And you think about it, this is the kickoff. First time in 9 months, Georgia Tech, Clemson, and Oregon people have been able to go to a college football game.
Sure.
So that's really helped us being the first game of the season.
And then I want to ask you, we haven't talked to you since December. There's been a lot of college football headlines this offseason. One main one, the Big Ten, with that big new streaming deal, $1 billion a year they're going to get paid to stream games. What did you make of the number? And I'm curious about Apple and Amazon's interest there, or big tech maybe getting into college football. That seemed fitting for you?
Well, you think about it. In college football, we're the second most fan-favorite sport in the whole country. You know, the NFL makes over $10 billion in its TV deals. With the Big Ten, they're making $1 billion a year. So now you start to put the CFP, the ACC, the SEC, the Big Ten, we're probably going to see about $3 billion for college football. So being the second most favorite sport in the country, you're going to start to see the TV deals go up and up and up in college sports.
And you list all those conferences. A lot of them are starting to join together, or at least some of the teams are, right? We have UCLA and USC going to be in the Big Ten. Oklahoma and Texas are now going to be in the SEC in a couple of years. How does it impact your business? Because there's going to be more conference games, and these schools are going to have less games to play when we talk about, non-con games.
It's a great point, Josh. I think the inventory is shrinking.
Sure.
We're lucky we're out through 2025. We've done our business to get out in front. But we'll have to wait and see. What's the new CFP playoff look like? What do conference expansion, what does that look like? How many conference games are they going to play? All that's going to dictate whether games like the Chick-fil-A kickoff game will exist in the future.
You talk about the college football playoff expansion. There's a lot of talk that it might be going to 12 games. Sounds like we might hear something, an announcement, maybe as soon as tomorrow. What have you heard in terms of expansion, and where does the Peach Bowl fit in?
Well, we hope we've done a good enough job selling out all of our games since we've joined the CFP to be a part of the new playoff, whatever it's going to be. We don't have a vote in the matter, but we have enough partners that we feel like we've done a good enough job for Atlanta, the capital college football, to continue with the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl hosting quarterfinal, semifinal games in the future.
And something we talk about a lot on this program is NIL, name, image, and likeness. How does that play into bowl games? Could you get a kid to play in a bowl game that isn't playing in a bowl game by paying them an NIL deal? Say Chick-fil-A maybe gives them some chicken sandwiches and a little cash. Does that make some of these players play?
Well, it's interesting. Last year we had two All-Americans, Kenny Pickett from Pitt and Kenneth Walker from Michigan State. Both were first-round draft choices by the NFL.
Yeah.
When the NFL hands you your draft card, it's worth a $20 million signing bonus as a first-rounder. So those guys, being they're going to get $20 million at least in their contract, I don't think there's any amount of money in an NIL that's going to make them play, because the agents, the parents are probably telling them, hey, don't risk it. And so we understand that. It's generational money now. We hope that in the future, if there is an expanded playoff, that there's some agreement with the NFL and college football where these kids will stay with their team and play throughout the rest of the playoff.
Okay, so you can't pay Kenny Pickett enough money to make him stay, but is there any kind of NIL tie-in that you guys have looked into?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's
Sure.
any kind of money that's going to make a difference if a kid's going to play or not. We'll look into the future to see where the market, as you said, this is changing daily. So we'll have to see what happens with the playoff. But I hope that in the future, kids stay with their team to play in a playoff for a national championship game. It would be a shame if they get to a playoff and then don't play the rest of the season with their team. I know a lot of them would like to, but most kids are hurt at the end of the season. And if you get that golden ticket,
Sure.
that's a tough decision to make.
Absolutely. Personally, I'm just excited for college football to be back. I'm sure you are too, Gary.
Well, we are too.
Yeah.
You think about it, our 3 games are going to create over $100 million of economic impact for the city of Atlanta. And in this day and time, coming out of COVID, our hospitality industry needs that. And if you put the SEC championship game on top of our 3 games, 4 of the top 6 conventions in Atlanta, which is the 4th largest convention town in the United States, are college football games. That's how important college football is to Atlanta. That's why a lot of people, as we stand in the financial capital, they call Atlanta the capital of college football.
It's a big business, and that's why we're covering it. Gary Stokan, Peach Bowl CEO and President. Back to you, Rochelle.